Hi everyone, it's Dana. I hope you can hear and see me okay. Pop in the comments and let me know if you can. My internet's been seeming a little bit slow lately. Sorry I missed you for a couple of days, but I wanted to check in and see how are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you getting by? Let me know. Let me know if there's anything you need. And also, I'm back with some very practical, quick tips for you today. This is something that came up for me, so I was researching it and I wanted to share all the best information that I found with you on the best way to get food. So, how do you go grocery shopping? Now, obviously, because we don't know everything about this virus on the scientific side, some of this is educated guessing, but this is the best information that we have right now. Big picture, by far your biggest risk of infection from the coronavirus when you go grocery shopping is the other people in the store. It's not as much from the food, somebody touching the food. It's much more that you're going to get it directly from somebody else in the store. So that is the big thing to remember. That being said, here are all the things you can do to be as safe as possible. Wash or sanitize your hands before you start shopping. This is actually more to protect other people, but if everybody did this, it would really help. Go shopping when the store is less busy because you will be exposed to less other people. Go to a store with wider aisles. So where I live, we've got some really awesome local health food stores that are like in these funky old spaces where you are literally rubbing shoulders with other people, whereas we have other more modern stores with big, wide, spacious aisles and big produce areas where it's really so much easier to stay 6 feet apart from others. So that's where I'm shopping right now. And plan to use disposable paper bags unless every time you go shopping, as soon as you get home, you are going to thoroughly wash and sanitize your reusable shopping bags. They can actually harbor a lot of bacteria, so maybe go for the disposable paper bags right now. When you arrive at the store, sanitize your cart, right? Like the cart handle with some wipes that they provide or your own hand sanitizer. That is probably worth doing. And then, like I said, big deal. Stay 6 feet apart from everyone else you encounter in the store. That is the biggest thing you can do. Do you wear gloves? Probably not that helpful since gloves are just like your hands. You touch something that's infected, everything else you touch, you're spreading the virus. You still can't touch your face. You still don't want to touch the, dirty cart and then your food. So unless you have like a cut on your hands, you can go for it. It's extra protection, but it might not be that great. If you have a mask, that keeps droplets from getting in, or you are possibly sick and you have one that keeps them from getting out, since you're going to be around other people and being around other people is the biggest risk right now, you can go ahead and wear your mask if you like. But biggest thing is to stay 6 feet apart. Okay, other little tips. Pay with a credit card, not cash. If you can avoid handling cash, that's better. Sanitize your hands after checkout, right? You just finished in the store. You've been around where lots of other people have been before you get back in your car and back in your own space. If you can, sanitize or wash your hands. Then when you get home, the fun begins. So what is recommended? So, and again, the transmission of the disease from your food to you is thought to be quite low. The risk is quite low compared to the risk of transmission from another person in the store. But there is still some risk. So here are the things you can do when you get home. With your produce, for anything that has a hard skin, like a beet, a carrot, a banana, just scrub it with a scrubby brush and soap and water under lots of running water. Scrub it clean. It should be good to go. For leafy greens and other things where that isn't possible, this is a little bit of an area of where we're not really sure. The risk of transmission from that seems to be relatively low, especially if you're not eating it for a day or two. There's a good chance that even if something was on there, it won't be in a day or two. I have seen other recommendations to just rinse it really well or to even soak it in a bowl of soapy water for 10 to 15 minutes and then rinse it really well. So those are things you can do for like leafy greens. And we'll talk about some other tips for that later. And again, waiting for 24 to 48 hours before eating it is probably going to lower your risk as well. Then, after handling your produce, wash your hands again. Okay, now for dry goods, the virus can live on like plastic, paper, and cardboard, probably not more than a day. Plastic might be a bit more. Metal is probably the longest. It gets infectious as time goes by. So if this is something you just bought, you're stashing it in the back of the cupboard, you're not going to eat it for over a week, probably don't have to worry about it. But it doesn't hurt to either wash the outsides of your containers with soap and water if they're waterproof, or wipe them down or spray them with a sanitizer, and then let them dry before putting them away. Again, this is a relatively low risk area, but it couldn't hurt. And then now and later, when you're preparing food, wash your hands after holding the outsides of your food packaging. And when you're finished putting everything away, wash down your countertops really well. Okay, now that is all the things you can do if you're going grocery shopping. However, a way to limit your risk way more is not to go. So if you are in a high risk group, or you are spending time with someone in a high risk group, or you just want to do even more to help spread the slow the spread of disease, you could either, offer to shop for people who can't go themselves, or use a grocery delivery service. The experts seem to agree that this is a better, lower risk option for anyone in a high risk category, or anyone who wants to minimize their exposure. That the chance of catching the virus from food that somebody else put in a bag for you is much lower than catching it from another person in the store. That being said, your person doing your grocery shopping for you might be sick. So here is what you can do to make it even safer. And we'll talk about these grocery delivery services in a minute. So when you, I just want to go back, sorry, for 1 second. If you are going grocery shopping yourself, try to go at the times when the store is less busy. And if you are in a high risk group and you're going, take advantage of stores that have senior hours. They're going to be less crowded. It's easier to stay farther apart from people. And that really is the number one most important thing. Okay, so for grocery delivery, you can give special instructions. Ask them to leave the groceries outside your door. If you can avoid face-to-face contact or a direct handoff with this person, you just eliminated the biggest risk out of the whole process. So just have them leave the groceries outside your door. Don't do a handoff. Avoid being face-to-face with that person if you can. And be sure to tip them electronically. Pretty much all the services, you can put their tip on your computer. And then when you get your groceries, do all those same things we talked about earlier to, clean the groceries and then clean your countertops. Okay, another option, some stores, you can go on their website, you can shop, and then you go to the store and you just stay in your car in the parking lot and they bring your order out to you. It's kind of like halfway between a delivery service and shopping yourself. This is a great option. One thing I recommend is open the car door or trunk yourself. And then the person will, oh, Teresa, hi, so glad you're enjoying this. If you guys have tips on this, feel free to put them in the comments. Let's all share what we know. So if you go to the store and your order is ready and they're delivering it, just open the car doors yourself, right? And then they can put your deliveries in, but keep your distance from that person. And again, tip them electronically if at all possible. The person is your biggest risk, not the groceries. For extra measures, so that's basically, we've covered the basics. For extra measures, you could wear a mask and gloves, but with gloves, you still got to be really careful not to touch your face or anything like that. And another thing you could think about is eating more cooked vegetables rather than raw. They seem to be one of the big gray areas, especially things that you can't scrub with a brush. So consider eating more cooked vegetables. Refrigeration and freezing, not a lot of evidence. Cooking does seem to probably kill the virus from everything that I've been reading. But again, they seem to be saying transmission through food is relatively low. And the other thing that I just wanted to talk about a little bit more was grocery delivery services. So the main ones that I know of are, you can use Amazon to deliver through Whole Foods. the Prime Now app, or there's an app that you can get. It's available in some areas like larger cities. We don't actually have it here in Eugene, so you got to be a decent sized city probably to have that. You might have local delivery services, like DoorDash or just something local. So call your local store and ask them, do you work with any delivery services? The other big ones are Instacart, INSTACART, and Shipt, SHIPT.com. And these, you can just look them up, put in your zip code, and they'll let you know what stores in your area they deliver from. But a lot of times you're going to see, Target, and you're going to see Fred Meyer and Safeway and Albertsons and Natural Grocers, a lot of really, really big, oops, sorry everybody, grocery stores that have lots and lots of stuff that would keep you covered. So these grocery delivery services are a really good option, it's looking like. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today, I know this is supposed to be a quick tip, is I just wanted to give another plug for everybody doing what we can proactively ahead of time to try and slow and stop the spread of the disease. And you guys, the reason for this, the absolute reason for this, is so that when people do get sick and those people do get a more serious infection and they need a hospital bed to give them, respiratory support while they're fighting the infection, having that hospital bed available is likely going to make the difference between that person dying from the infection or not. The way to keep the death toll down is to have enough hospital beds available for the people who are seriously ill from this. That's the bottom line. That's what we're trying to do. So if we slow the spread, we flatten that curve. It means that when people do get sick, the help they need is available. We can save most of them. The problem comes when everybody gets sick at once and then the people need the hospital beds all at the same time. There's not nearly enough beds available. That's when the biggest problems happen. And so, and the thing about it is you need to take these measures before the problem occurs. So we don't know, for sure how bad it might get, but we need to start acting before we know that. We need to take a leap of faith and just do this to protect ourselves and everyone else. So social distancing is the first step, and really more of a shelter in place guidelines is the one that makes the biggest difference. And I'm going to put a link in the comments below this video. It's covidactnow.org. COVIDACTNOW, covidactnow.org. They have this map you can click on that shows your state and some projected dates, and you'll see the curves on there. You'll see if we do nothing, if we do social distancing, and if we do shelter in place, where the curve goes above or does not go above that line, which is how many hospital beds we have. So that's what the fuss is all about. And you can kind of get a sense on there you can see the difference that it makes in a curve when we do these different levels of carefulness. And they talk a little bit about why we need to act before it becomes a problem. If there's a date that's sort of like you start doing it after that date, it doesn't make a difference. So I'm just putting in another plug for us to be extra cautious to protect all of those in our society who are the most vulnerable or who for some reason are going to get hit hardest by this thing. So those are my quick tips for today. If you guys have questions, I hope this was helpful. I needed to go grocery shopping and I was like, geez, what's the best way to do this? Plus, I'm also helping out with my parents who are in a high-risk group, one of them especially. And so I'm trying really hard to be extra careful so that I don't get sick, so that I'm not carrying anything. And just because I'm so aware of if everybody does what we can, it's not as much that you're worried about yourself, you're doing it to protect other people. So let's all get together on this. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you need help with something in particular, finding out if there's grocery delivery in your area or you need help setting it up. We can find somebody in the community to help you with that. or even networking to find someone to go grocery shopping for you if you're high risk and there's not a delivery service. So let us know what's going on, you guys. Teresa, thank you so much. I hope you are enjoying spending time with all your beautiful puppies and family. And I will talk to you guys soon. Oh, and I have other stuff. The reason I haven't been on the last couple of days, I've been very, very busy creating some things that I think are going to be amazingly helpful for some of you. So look for information on that. I'm opening up my schedule to long distance herbal consultations. I'm opening up enrollment in my online course. I'm sharing my immune system herbal and supplement protocols. I've got some really hardcore stuff becoming available in the next couple of days if you would like some extra help from me personally. So keep an eye out for that. And I will be back when I get some more practical, helpful, quick tips. And you guys, deep breaths and enjoy the beautiful springtime. And I will see you soon. Bye.